My name is Juliet Nash. I'm the Community Training Coordinator for San Diego Humane Society. Today, I'm going to be presenting on enrichment for dogs and cats. This webinar is being presented by San Diego Humane Society in collaboration with Purina. Purina is a leading partner in San Diego Humane Society's life-saving work, providing the highest quality nutrition and cat litter for the nearly 40,000 dogs and cats who enter our shelter every year. In addition to ensuring that our adoptable animals are well fed, Purina is also partnering with San Diego Humane Society's Behavior Center to investigate best practices for challenging behavior issues in dogs and cats, including fearful and anxious behaviors. Together with Purina, we look forward to sharing our findings with shelters nationwide so that animals everywhere who need specialized training and behavioral intervention can get the help and second chance they deserve. So what is enrichment? The Association of Shelter Veterinarians defines enrichment as a process for improving the environment and behavioral care of confined animals within the context of their behavioral needs. We use the term confined to describe any animal living in a human-controlled environment. The purpose of enrichment is to reduce stress and improve well-being by providing physical and mental stimulation, encouraging species-typical behaviors, such as chewing for dogs and rodents or scratching for cats, and allowing animals more control over their environment. In a nutshell, enrichment makes everyday life more interesting and the fun type of challenging. Aside from involving highly rewarding activities that burn mental and often physical energy, enrichment can be a powerful tool for behavior management and modification. And while many forms of enrichment involve food rewards, food isn't required for enrichment. So what is it that makes enrichment different from other activities our pet is involved with, such as play? Enrichment can be play, but play isn't always enrichment. That may seem a little confusing at first, but the difference is pretty simple. Play, whether by themselves or with other individuals, pet or human, is something the pet enjoys participating in. The behaviors involved are not related to survival and are often very straightforward, such as catching a ball or frisbee, digging or going for a swim, playing tug, or chewing on squeaky toys or bully sticks. Similarly, enrichment also describes activities your pet enjoys and wants to participate in, but these take a bit more work and are related to instinct or other natural behavior and require your pet to think and problem solve in the process. For example, instead of just digging for the enjoyment of digging, your dog can dig for buried treats and now has to use their nose to locate those treats, mimicking natural foraging for food behavior. Cats can be given puzzles in which to hunt for their food, such as treats or toys in a box they need to dig out with their paws. So what does enrichment look like? The answer is a lot of different activities with seemingly endless options for modifications, challenges, and creativity. We'll focus on 4 different types of enrichment activity categories: scent and nose work, agility and sporting, puzzles and feeding enrichment, and novel experiences. Did you know that humans have around 5 million scent receptors? That might sound impressive, but hold on to your leashes. Our dogs have up to 300 million. They can smell the world around us thousands of times better than we can. Because of this, giving your dog time to enjoy a leisurely walk where they're allowed to sniff to their heart's content is a simple and passive form of enrichment. Think of their minds like a computer that's downloading and processing more smells than we can even begin to imagine, allowing them to learn all about what's been happening in the area they're sniffing. That takes a lot of work. You can also teach your dog to do directed scent work. Canine nose work is a fun skill your dog can learn and even compete with. While we may think of scent hounds as being the most naturally adept at this type of enrichment, dogs of all breeds, ages, and abilities enjoy scent work, and they don't need any formal training to get started. Here's an example of a dog searching containers to find the one holding the treat or odor he's looking for. Excellent, good boy. Good boy, good job, buddy. Good job. At home, scent work involves many activities that work outdoors or indoors, such as having them dig through a dog sandbox for hidden toys or cookie-style dog treats, or sniffing scavenger hunts to find treats or their dinner. Ball pits are another excellent scent-based foraging activity for dogs or cats and allow a lot of creativity and flexibility. Let's check out some examples. Giving your pets their meals in a ball pit helps you manage behavior during cooking or meal times, such as being underfoot or begging. Because you can use their everyday dry food for this, you ensure that you aren't overfeeding and also that your pet is eating more slowly. These activities can take just a few minutes to upwards of 20 minutes, depending on how challenging you make it. Both the scent work and the digging burn energy for more relaxed and calmer pets. Agility in dog sports are another form of enrichment, especially for high-energy working dogs, though all breeds can enjoy it. While sporting does burn a lot of physical energy, you might be surprised how mentally stimulating it is as well. Especially for adult dogs, the new textures of the associated equipment, like of the nylon and vinyl tunnels, wobbly rubber discs, etc., can be a challenge all their own if they've never experienced anything like that before. Building up confidence and resilience to these objects, as well as the way they move or sound, is an important part of the training. Then, of course, there's the obstacles themselves. Crawling or running through a small enclosed space like a tunnel, jumping over bars or through a hoop, weaving between poles, balancing on a board. All of this requires a dog to learn a lot about body awareness, such as how to move their back feet up and out of the way when going over a jump. They also have to pay close attention to their owner's spoken and visual cues and their body language. All of these exercises require a lot of focus, which means a lot of work. Did you know there are some types of sports, like dog yoga or AKC Fit Dog competitions, where body awareness is the primary goal? Watch this pup working on keeping his hind legs up on the target as part of his AKC Fit Dog exercise.
So I'm not marking, I'm using my treat delivery as my marker. So he's got a lot of hind end awareness, this guy.
Perhaps the broadest category of enrichment is puzzle-based, as the creative options and ideas seem endless, making these activities accessible no matter what type of pets, their age, agility, or ability. You can start with something as simple as scatter feeding, literally scattering your pet's food on a hard surface as opposed to feeding in a bowl, and build your way up to complex scavenger hunts. Or starting with loose kibbles and treats in a Kong and working up to layers of treats. For example, a layer of kibbles, peanut butter, more kibble, and then pumpkin puree. You can then step up the challenge again by freezing it. Many puzzle-based enrichment activities include learning new skills, such as here where my cat Ginny uses her head to roll the bottle with the kibble inside. She will gladly spend 10 to 15 minutes rolling this around for just a teaspoon of kibble, even though a bowl of the same food is readily available nearby. This concept of preferring to work for food is called contra-freeloading and has been observed in a number of animal species, in your home, at the zoo, and in the wild. What does that mean? It means animals may see enrichment as an experience worth working for. One of the most valuable aspects of providing this style of enrichment is that it results in our pets using critical thinking skills to solve problems, such as realizing that using a paw is more effective than pushing with a nose, or that one end of a toy is easier to get treats from than another. Additionally, many of these activities result in your pet learning new mechanical skills that can be applied to other types of training, such as service dog work. Watch these two young puzzle pros, Penny and Copper, as they demonstrate a variety of these skills.
It didn't come out, Copper. That wasn't fair.
Wow, right? They pushed, pulled, twisted, pressed, dug, and spun, using combinations of noses, mouths, and paws. Let's take a closer look at some of the activities and skills required.
Well, thank you, but there isn't a treat in there right now. Sorry to hear that. That's really a bummer. There's some big treats still in there, guys. Come on, you don't get a freebie. You still got to earn it. Oh, good job, Pet. Go! I made it too easy.
Like some other types of enrichment, puzzles may also involve being aware of how to use their bodies, rely on nose work, build confidence with new objects, provide low-impact exercise, and slow down fast eaters. Enrichment teaches our pets so much and in so many ways. When you present novel experiences and new activities at a challenge level appropriate for your pet, their success at doing the task or solving the puzzle builds confidence. Interactions with novel objects and experiences builds value in being curious and open to changes in their environments, routines, and training. Because enrichment can help your pet be comfortable with new experiences, it means they're more likely to be resilient to the unexpected, be it something big like a move to a new home and travel, or something smaller like interactions with a person with potentially unfamiliar mobility such as crutches, a wheelchair, etc., or unfamiliar sounds like construction or events like a parade. Enrichment also engages our pets' minds and keeps them busy. Having a variety of boredom buster activities for your pet throughout the week helps keep them out of trouble. Let's dig into that a little deeper. Enrichment can be used as part of a behavior modification plan for your pet, cat or dog. For example, do you have a pet that gets the zoomies, a big burst of energy that has them either chewing and jumping on everything in sight, including you, or racing around doing an uncontrolled version of pet parkour in your living room? Have you noticed that it often tends to happen around the same time of day? If so, beat them to it. Give them some enrichment to do in the hour leading up to that zoomy window and see if that lessens the intensity, or maybe instead of zoomies, you have a pet just looking for an extra play or training session. Imagine you have a cat trying to jump on the table while you're cooking or eating. Instead of making it a game by constantly shooing them away, give them a ball pit or other puzzle filled with their dinner to work through and see if that keeps them out of those spaces. What can you do about one pet with higher energy levels or more play drive than another? Provide enrichment or dedicated high energy play prior to giving them opportunity to interact, setting them up for calmer and potentially more successful interactions. What about natural behaviors like digging or hunting? Sandboxes for dogs to dig for treats or toys in, scavenger hunts, or playing hide and seek with cats can help with some of those more natural urges. Additionally, cats have a natural cycle of hunt or play, eat, groom, and sleep, which means that you can set up your high energy play sessions and feedings for a time of day when you want your cat to settle down for a long nap shortly afterwards. Similarly, enrichment can also be used to introduce high energy play before you leave the home, sit down for a meeting, or are otherwise going to be busy and unable to interact with your pet, since enrichment activities that require a lot of work tend to result in sleepy or mellow pets. This may not be enough to take the edge off extreme behavior concerns, but can help with more mild behaviors. So what are some easy enrichment projects you can start introducing today without even leaving your home? Believe it or not, you likely already have a whole bunch of materials you can use to make pet-safe enrichment items. Old towels are great for digging in. Paper towel rolls can be filled with treats with the ends pinched shut or cut up and used in puzzles like the one above on the left, which is appropriate for cats and small dogs. Egg crates require using noses and paws to get treats out of the crevices. Boxes are a whole category all on their own. They can be folded shut so your pet has to open them, sealed shut with cutouts that paws can fit into, used as bases for other items, built into cat forts and obstacle courses or mazes. The ideas are endless. Newspaper can be dug through in various ways. Empty plastic bottles can have caps removed and can be filled with treats or kibble and spun around like you see here, or have holes punched in the sides and rolled around on the ground. Lastly, meals can be frozen during warm weather or when your puppy is teething to provide a long-lasting and cooling treat. Let's look at some fun feeder games for full meals. We'll go from left to right and from the top down. First, the ball pit can simply start as treats in a box. A good tip is to seal the bottom of the box with durable tape so treats don't get trapped under the flaps, at least for the beginners. Next, add a few newspaper balls and a handful of kibble that your pet can easily see and find. Once they figure out the game, increase the number of balls and the challenge of finding the treats. In the middle row, we step up the challenge even further. Instead of just tossing a handful of kibble or treats into a box, we're now going to hide some inside the paper balls for an extra challenge. The bottom photo shows an alternative digging box using a towel if your pet likes to eat or chew on paper. And of course, you don't need to use a cardboard box at all. You could use any sort of pet-safe container and filling materials based on your pet's needs. The last row on the right shows a simple and fun game involving treats rolled up in a towel. Your pet pushes the towel with their nose to unroll it again and reveal all those treats. Another fun enrichment item that can be made or purchased is a snuffle mat. Created by cutting long strips of fleece and tying them into knots in a rubber kitchen or bar mat, you can create a great nosework activity for meals and treats for dogs or cats. In fact, these are a great way to keep your pet busy and working calmly and quietly in one spot while you are busy and unable to give them direct attention. Another easy to purchase item is this enrichment-based feeding dish. The different sections can be filled with different items and served fresh or frozen. Here, our cat Kitty is enjoying a combination of his wet and dry food, with a couple freeze-dried minnow treats and some tiny puffs of whipped cream added for fun. It's important to remember that enrichment isn't just for dogs and cats. Any animal can benefit from it. In fact, many of the activities we discussed today for our dogs and cats can be modified for small animals or other pets. Because enrichment is a mentally stimulating activity, it can keep small animals from the boredom and frustrated behaviors that we sometimes see, such as destructive chewing, screaming in birds, unhealthy or repetitive behavior patterns, over-grooming, and more. They enjoy enrichment just as much as anyone else. Watch these critters engage in two very different types of enrichment, and you'll see what I mean.
Look at Benny.
She's having so much fun. Oh, she's having so much fun. She's got a course. Oh, look at. Oh, she's kind of got a little remote there.
How cute! She's having so much fun!
Oh, she loves that course. Oh, this was the best thing ever to do this.
Oh, so cute.
This is the best thing ever to shorten the spot.
I'm sure that by now you're probably ready to dive into creating some enrichment opportunities for your pets, which is great. If you find yourself looking for additional resources, here are some great places to start. sdhumane.org. We're frequently adding new resources to our website in the form of articles, videos, webinars, and enrichment-focused classes. You can also join a Facebook group dedicated to enrichment, and don't let the species name fool you. Both these groups exclusively allow techniques and tips that are rooted in positive reinforcement, and the public Canine Enrichment Facebook group content can be accessed by the public whether or not they're on Facebook themselves. It also features far more than just dogs. With over 320,000 members, you're sure to always have some new inspiration available to you. And of course, YouTube is a great place to look for do-it-yourself videos for items like snuffle mats, Kong stuffing tips, and how to set up scavenger hunts for your indoor cats. If you're struggling to find enrichment that connects with your pet, or are unsure what to use to address particular types of behaviors, you can always reach out to your local Humane Society for help. Some have dedicated behavior helplines to provide community support and guidance to members of their community. San Diego Humane Society offers free behavior helpline support for pet owners who need help getting started, need advice on their pet's behavior, or resources and recommendations on how to find a positive reinforcement behavior professional in their area, and our helpline is open to anyone in the world who needs it. Thank you for joining us for this chat on enrichment. Stay safe and keep those pets engaged.